What is up, guys? Good morning. It is Friday. I'm just a guy on my lunch break, except I'm not on my lunch break. So I guess for now, I'm just a guy on my morning commute to work. Hope you don't mind, but I have to get my coffee in. You know, no Kratom, so still kicking it with the coffee. Gotta still have that energy somehow. Wow, the moon looks crazy, man. Talking about a full moon, that's wild. Wish I could show you guys that, but anyway, this has started off bad. I'm still half asleep. I've only been up for probably, I don't know, 40 minutes maybe, something like that. I worked out yesterday evening, so I took my shower in the evening. Whenever I take my shower at night, when I get up the next morning, I just change, put an extra layer of deodorant on, brush my teeth, get my coffee, and I bounce. The shower always serves to help wake me up a little bit. So the reason I'm doing my video in the morning is because my wife and I are trying is the key word here, since it's Labor Day weekend and we have a long weekend. My wife and I, because of our surprise pregnancy and the surprise birth of my son River, we have not had a vacation. We've not had a decent vacation in a long time. Let's just put it that way. And it's tough to do that with a baby when we don't have anyone to really watch him for several days. So we're going to try to go to the North Carolina mountains, which I live in North Carolina, so we're going to try to go somewhere no more than 3-4 hours away and just stay like in a cabin up in the mountains for a couple of nights, trying to get one that's got a hot tub, since we have a hot tub there at the house, something that's got some really nice views off of the back deck or nice views from the hot tub. We're trying to do something like that, and it's possible that we may leave this afternoon and try to get there this evening, sometime around maybe 8 o'clock, something like that. When that happens, I'm gonna try to take off work at 4 instead of 5, which means I will be working through my lunch break. So it's called just a guy on my lunch break, not just a guy working through his lunch break and not taking a lunch. So so obviously I wouldn't be able to do my video later on, so I wanted to get in a quick video for you guys on my morning commute today. So anyway, hope you guys all are doing well out there. I got several people in the comments who have recently come completely off of Kratom. I got one guy who I think he's on day 6, completely off of Kratom, which is pretty legit. Proud of you for that, my man. Anybody else out there who's trying to curtail your use, just stick with it, stay with it. Hurts a little bit at first, I'm not going to lie about that. I think the worst part of it is just getting through the points of mental anguish and boredom and just the cravings, because at first you're gonna get some of that. Well, let me back up. Actually, for me, it wasn't at first that I did get a lot of that. The first week, was kind of, I guess, what they would call, what people refer to as the pink cloud sort of phase for me, where I was like, oh, I got this, I defeated this. You feel like you've reached the top of the mountain, you feel like you've reached the pinnacle, because it was a struggle to get off of it completely, right? And then to get your sleep back in shape and stuff like that. And it's one of those things where for a lot of us, we never thought we'd even get off of it, because getting off of it, completely off of Kratom, was a struggle, was a challenge, right? So then once you get completely off of it and you're on day 2, 3, 4, 5, you're like, damn, I did it. You have this feeling of like elation, almost like this feeling of, whew, man, I'm glad that's over with. sort of thing. But be careful, because it's not necessarily over with. Because for me, it was week 2, and it was around the week 2.5 mark where it started to really set in for me. I was, and at this point, I was finished with any physical withdrawals or anything like that. I was good on that tip, but mentally, it really started wreaking havoc on me, and the cravings and wanting to go back to it and use more and stuff like that started to hit me a lot stronger after that 2-week mark, right? So just be aware of that for any of you out there who are coming off of it, and of course you have to determine, what your relationship with Kratom will be moving forward. That's not going to be the same for everyone. You have some people out there who feel like, hey, if I can just control it and, only take it every once in a while, if I can put a few days in between the times that I'm using it so that I'm not physically dependent upon it and I'm not getting these, gnarly withdrawals and stuff like that whenever I go to come off of it. If I can get there with it and stay there with it, then that's where I would like it to be, because I would like to still be able to enjoy it from time to time. That I was that person. That's what I wanted to do. I didn't want to come completely off of it forever and never touch it again. I like it, and especially, to be able to get a little mood lift and euphoria like that legally, that's pretty cool, to me. I'm that type of person. I like to enjoy stuff like that. And if it's legal in my state, then, I prefer to be able to still enjoy that from time to time. That's not the mindset for everyone. A lot of people have the mindset that, it was a slippery slope for me. And if it was a slippery slope one time, it's going to be a slippery slope a second time. And if it was a slippery slope for me one time, then there's never going to come a time where I'm going to be able to take that particular thing and it not be a slippery slope. I'm always going to have the risk of, overusing or getting to a point of abuse with this substance. A lot of people feel that way, and understandably so, and that may actually be the case for a decent amount of people. But, I do know that there are some people out there that are using it and using it responsibly. I'm one of those. Everything's going well so far for me on that. I've just been using it on the weekends. I've just not been using it during the week at all. And I found that to be much easier. As long as I don't give in and actually take it during the week, that seems to be, going pretty well. Of course I have moments. I'm only a month and a half. I was off for about a month, and then I've been about a couple of weeks where I've actually been just kind of doing it on the weekend. So of course I still have moments where I'm like, on a Tuesday or on a Wednesday or whatever, I'm like, oh damn, I sure wish I'd like to have some Kratom this evening. Sitting at home in the evenings, well, I'd sure like to have a dose of Kratom. Of course I have those moments, but they're far less, I will say that, than when I was in regular active use. When I was using it every day, it was very, very difficult, very, very challenging to go even one day without taking it. Once you get past the physical withdrawal phase of it, and the mental and emotional withdrawal phase of it, I feel like it's a lot easier to just accept, well, it's the way it's got to be. If I'm going to be able to take something like this Kratom here, I'm going to have to be able to control it, because it is one of those things that if you take it every day, all the time, if you dose on it like it's a medication 3 times a day, every day, you will get to a point where you'll be physically dependent upon it. And then when you stop abruptly, you're going to feel like shit. And nobody wants to feel that. And nobody wants to go through the withdrawals and all that stuff. So if you accept that about Kratom and you accept that it's just one of those things that you just can't, bro. You just can't. You just can't use it every day unless you're one of those people who are conceding to the fact and you're resigned to the fact. And some people may be, some people may need it. Some people may be using it for pain. And there are people out there who are like, oh, I use it every day, multiple times a day, and I'm good with it, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with it. It's just something I have to do. I have to curtail this pain. I have to numb down this pain that I have. So I have to use it every day, and I'm okay with that. It's no different than me going to a pain management clinic and I would rather take Kratom every day, multiple times per day, than oxycodone or OxyContin or Vicodin or whatever. And that's a fair statement by you if you're in that situation. And there are people out there that have accepted and resigned the fact that, well, I'm just going to take it every day. And if you take it every day, and if you don't ever go to stop, then you don't have withdrawals, right? If you just keep going, then you don't ever have withdrawals. It's when you stop that you start to have the withdrawals. But for me, and for people like me, I'm not necessarily taking it for any other reason than like a social drinker would drink some beers on the weekend. It's a mood lifting agent for me, gives me a little energy, kind of helps me to get a little bit more enjoyment out of things that I might be doing on the weekend, spending time with my family, just whatever it is. And look, I enjoy, during the week, I'm not taking it, and I still enjoy spending time with my family. I'm sitting down Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of every afternoon, and I'm not taking any Kratom. So, and it feels good. I still enjoy hanging out with my family, but I get that extra little boost on the weekend, and it kind of helps me get things done around the house. It helps me get things clean, get my shopping done, and just kind of gives me that little mood elevation, right? So anyway, for somebody like me, I'm using it for that. I'm not using it to curtail any like real depression or anxiety or physical pain or anything like that. So for me, I couldn't get to a place where I was accepting of the fact that, well, yeah, man. I mean, I guess I'm just going to be a Kratom user every day, multiple times per day for the rest of my life. I couldn't get to a point where I could accept that about myself. I just couldn't. And I think it's because I wasn't willing to lie to myself, and I knew deep down that I didn't have to have this shit. I don't have to have this shit. I just want to have it, And for me, if I want to have it and it's something that I just want to be able to do in my life, then I have to be able to control it. If I don't have to have it, then I have to be able to control it. You know what? That's my new mantra on here. If you don't have to have it, now be honest with yourself. Some people may have to have it, but if you are a person who do not have to have it, or if you do not have to have it, wait, what was it? Damn. If you do not have to have it, then you shouldn't have it. No, that's not it. God, oh my God, guys. I'm having a complete brain fart right now. The point I'm making is, if you're a person like me and it's not something that you have to take on a regular basis, oh, I know what it was. If you do not have to have it, then if you still want to take it, you have to control it. If you don't have to have it, you have to control it. All right. And so that's kind of my new mantra. And if that's you, if you fall into that category, then, you're going to have to get to that sort of place with it, I think, if you're ever going to feel comfortable with having an ongoing relationship with Kratom. For me, it's kind of an on and off thing. I don't really take it during the week, and then I take some on the weekends. That's going pretty well right now. It is kind of an experiment. I've never had this sort of relationship with something like an opiate-like substance before. But in my past relationship with opiates is maybe worse than some people, but maybe not as bad as others. You know, I've never been on the heroin, I've never been on the fentanyl, I've never been on OxyContin or, you know, some of those harder ones. But I did go through a stint, you know, 15 years ago, where I was going through the, like hydrocodone, Percocet, stuff like that. So I do know what it's like to be in a full-on active opiate addiction, right? So for me, I think having gone through that experience, you know, and again, there's a lot of schools of thought that'll say, hey man, if you have ever been addicted to opiates, then you're just playing with fire, man, by messing with something like Kratom or taking something like Kratom, you know. And a lot of people will say that. The jury's still out for me on whether that's true, because so far it's going pretty well. But you know, just like people come to the conclusion and come to the understanding that, okay, I'm an addict, I can't take stuff like this, so I have to remain 100% abstinent. If that's what you believe, then that's what's effective for you. But me, I have come to the conclusion that, okay, I have to be able to control this, which means I can't take it every day, multiple times a day. I have to put multiple days in between my use. And if I don't do that, then I'm ultimately going to fall back into that trap, that Kratom trap of being caught in it, being physically addicted to it, which makes it that much harder to go even 6 hours without it, or 24 hours without it, or 2 days without it, or 3 days without it, right? So for me, that's what I've come to the realization of, and it's helped. I've just accepted it. I've just accepted that I cannot use this shit every day, because if I use this shit every day and I don't put days in between my use of it, then I'm just going to end up back in the same spot that I was before, and I don't want that. So anyway, just giving you guys something to think about, because most of the people that have tuned into my channel are either using Kratom or have used Kratom, or trying to figure out what they're going to do regarding Kratom, whether they're still going to try to take it some, or whether they're going to stay completely off of it. I support either. I know people that have come off of it and are completely off of it. There's a guy, I'm going to drop his name. There's a guy, Troy Anderson, who you know, jumped onto my channel a while back, and we were getting off roughly around the same time, which he did a cold turkey and I was doing a taper. But he's still off of it. He's probably like 40 something days completely off of it now. The dude's killing it. He hasn't taken it at all, and he's decided, you know, he was he was one of those guys that when he was taking it, he was just going ham with it. He said he used to have containers of it. He had some in the house, he had some in the car, he had some at work. You know, he just was one of those people that just, any time throughout the day, he just didn't really have much of a filter. He'd just always be taking it, you know. And so I think for him, he decided that, hey, I just can't do this. You know, I don't need to be messing with this stuff. So he's made the smart choice for him, and he stayed off of it. So you guys should go check out his videos. He does some good videos just talking about it, just talking about how he feels from day to day, what his energy level is like, and I find it fun to listen to, and inspiring to listen to, you know, hearing someone else put those days together and kind of a video vlog series of kind of what it's been like for them, sort of thing. So anyway, I gotta go. I'm getting close to work, but I hope you guys have a great weekend. I appreciate the response about the Patreon page. I'll probably do that at some point soon. It's not something that I'm like dying to do right now. It's not like I've got to get paid, guys. I got to get paid. It's not like that. You know, I have a job. My wife has a job. We make good money. It's not like I have to do that right now, but I probably will eventually do it, just because I want it to be something that's worth my time, and I need a little bit of incentive, you know, to keep doing it, because it does take up a decent amount of my time every week. And I appreciate the guys who popped on and like, hey, definitely do the Patreon page. You got my vote. I'm definitely on board. You know, I'll help out. I had a few people say that, and I really appreciate that. That kind of gives me the green light eventually to go ahead and do that. So that's up and coming. I'll let you guys know whenever I decide to do that. So anyway, like the video. If you're just now coming onto the channel, you like what you hear, it's inspiring to you, and this is part of your journey as well, and you're trying to figure it all out, and you're getting some answers from this sort of content, please hit that subscribe button. That's your payment, is hitting the subscribe button. Then you don't have to worry about it again, and you can watch my content forever, as much as you want, without even having to worry about it. And that's my ask. So anyway, love you guys. Hope you have a good weekend, and I will see you guys on Monday. All right. Wait. No, I won't see you on Monday. Monday's Labor Day. I'll be at home, so I probably won't make a video that day. It's probably going to be more like Tuesday. But anyway, hope you guys have a safe Labor Day holiday weekend, and I will talk to you guys later. All right, peace.